May 1999, California. If you want to steal $800,000, you generally have two options. Walk into a bank with a mask and a gun, or write a malicious line of code and drain an offshore account. But a civil engineer named David Phillips chose a third option. No weapons, no dark web, just chocolate pudding. 12,150 cups of it, with an initial investment of just $3,000. David legally looted the American airline industry. He secured 1.25 million frequent flyer miles, enough to fly first class for the rest of his life. When the multi-billion-dollar corporations realized what he had done, they unleashed their legal teams, they scoured the contracts, they hunted for a reason to throw him in jail, but they couldn't touch him because he hadn't broken a single rule. In fact, his plan was so flawless, the United States government actually subsidized his heist. This is the untold anatomy of the greatest loophole ever discovered, and the horrifying physical nightmare David endured to pull it off. Every great exploit starts with a system that thinks it's impenetrable. For David, that system was a promotional grocery flyer: buy 10 products, mail in the barcodes, earn 500 miles. Mail them by the end of May, the miles doubled. 1,000 miles for every 10 barcodes. Marketing executives designed this for average families buying frozen dinners. But David wasn't average. He was an engineer. He didn't see a coupon. He saw a mathematical fracture in the matrix. The fine print didn't specify which products to buy. It didn't enforce a minimum price. It just said any product. Frozen meals, $2. Too expensive. Canned soup, 90 cents. Getting warmer. Then in a discount grocery outlet, he struck gold. Individual chocolate pudding cups, on clearance, for 25 cents each. Let's look at the devastating math. 10 pudding cups cost $2.50. Those 10 cups generate 1,000 airline miles. He was buying miles for a quarter of a cent each. An $800 round-trip ticket to Europe normally costs 50,000 miles. Using the pudding method, David could buy that exact flight for $125. He had found the infinite money glitch, but executing the heist was a physical nightmare. He needed millions of miles. He needed to buy every single pudding cup in California before May, Sacramento, Fresno, Stockton. He walked into grocery outlets and bought entire inventories. He told managers he was a survivalist stockpiling for Y2K, but he underestimated the sheer physics of his greed. 12,150 pudding cups don't just fit in a trunk. They weigh roughly 3,500 pounds, over 1.5 tons of dairy. His car suspension groaned. His garage was packed floor to ceiling, but the worst was yet to come. The promotion required physical cardboard barcodes. He had to manually peel 12,150 stickers off 12,150 plastic cups without tearing them. His family tried to help. Fingers blistered, hands cramped. The deadline was rapidly approaching. He was going to fail. Cornered, David pulled off a move of undeniable genius. He called the local Salvation Army. "I will donate thousands of dollars of food for free. But your volunteers have to peel the barcodes and give them back." They agreed. The volunteers peeled all 12,150 barcodes in a matter of days. But here is what made David a legend. Because he donated to a registered charity, he legally claimed it as a tax write-off. The IRS values donations on retail price, not clearance. The government valued the 25-cent cups at 89 cents each. He claimed an $815 deduction on his taxes. The U.S. government literally paid him a rebate for his own heist. His total net cost dropped to $2,325. The barcodes were mailed. The physical nightmare was over. But the corporate nightmare was just beginning. 256 thick envelopes arrived at the processing center. Conagra ran the numbers. This one guy was about to cost them nearly $40,000 in raw cash. A legal team was immediately assembled. They combed the flyer for an escape hatch. Was there a cap? No. Did it exclude clearance items? No. One per household? No. If they refused to pay, David could sue for false advertising, and he would win. Trapped by their own arrogance, Conagra blinked. 2 months later, a massive cardboard box arrived on David's porch. Inside were 2,506 individual paper certificates. He had won, or so he thought. The certificates were just paper. He had to deposit them into his airline accounts. And airlines act like unregulated banks. They have hyper-aggressive fraud detection systems. David submitted 1,037,000 miles all at once to American Airlines. He hit submit and waited. Hours passed. The screen simply read, "Processing." Usually, deposits were instant. A manual review had been triggered. Deep inside American Airlines headquarters, a fraud analyst stared at a red alert on her screen. A single civilian had just deposited over 1 million miles in one afternoon. Her finger hovered over the reject and ban button. All she had to do was click it, and David's $800,000 fortune would be erased. She checked the serial numbers, verified. She checked his history, spotless. She realized something profound. He didn't break the system. He just played the game better than the people who invented it. She lifted her finger and clicked approve. David's screen refreshed, his balance updated, over 1.2 million miles, and lifetime gold elite status, free upgrades, lounge access, and priority boarding for the rest of his life for just over $2,000. David took his family to over 40 countries, first class to Europe, Asia, and South America, all funded by chocolate pudding. David Phillips proved one simple, beautiful truth. The system is rigged against you, but if you read the fine print, sometimes you can rig it right back.